Welcome to another Chrysalis walkthrough. Chrysalis is the premier church child theme for Divi. This walkthrough is all about sermons or services. So the deal here is if you record just the sermons and that's what you're putting on your site for archival purposes, for people to view on your site, then you want to call it sermons. But if you record the whole services, then you'll want to change all this language to services. All right, so this is part of the worship pages, and so you'll see that it appears in the contextual menu. And the first section shows a highlight of your latest sermon. So this section is geared towards people that miss, but they want to see what they missed. And so they're going to come here, and the first thing they're going to want is they're going to want to see what happened last. And then there'll be another section that has the most recent sermons. And just like I explained on the homepage walkthrough, for all of these sermon posts, there's a way that you can set the post type or the media type, and if it's set to video, you'll see a video play button here. If it's set to audio, you'll see an audio play button, etc. And I'll show that to you in a little bit. Next is the sermon series section, so you can show your most recent sermon series. We've actually given you a sample page of what a sermon series page may look like. Once you get past 4, you'll probably want to create a page that just lists all your sermon series, and you can use this section kind of as a template for that page. And then we put a button in there that you can link to that page. Next is the index of topics. This is a way that you can tag all of your sermons by the different topics that are involved with them. There's kind of some detailed instructions for doing all of this, but basically when you use tags in WordPress, you can link directly to the tag page. So as you start to use these, then you can convert them into links that go straight to that tag page so that people can see all of the sermons that relate to that tag. There's also a section for speakers, which goes to author pages, which have also been designed for you. And then obviously what other topics that you have that you want to add in here for yourself. So that's what the sermons page looks like. Let's really quickly, I'll show you what the sermon series page looks like. So it lets you put the title and your artwork, a description of the sermon series, and then it will show all the sermons that relate to that series. I put this in the menu just for the demo site, but you probably just want to link it from the sermons page where the section already exists. Next, let's look at an individual sermon. So similarly, the featured image for that sermon is up here. The category for that sermon. So with sermons, we're basically using categories for the as a stand-in for the sermon series. So you would put the sermon series name as the category, and that would be up here. And if you clicked on it, that would take you to all the sermons from that category. And then here you have the date that it originally appeared on. This is actually the published date for the post, and so you want to fudge this so they match. So if you're making this post like on September 8th, you want to backdate it to September 7th. And then finally, Chrysalis user, this is the author of the post. Again, that's a stand-in for the speaker. So even if you posted it and you weren't the person that was speaking during the sermon, you can change that to that user, and so they can see who the speaker was. And if you click on that, it'll take you to the author page where you can see all of that other speaker's sermons. Okay. We'll look at the back end in a second, but you want to put your video or your audio media here so that people see it first thing. And then you'll have a place for a description. If you have a bulletin or a transcript, there'll be a place you can put the link in for those. And it'll basically allow people to get access to those. There's a place you can put in the readings. You can either put in the full text or you can put in the links. If you put in the full text, just make sure that you're adhering to the copyright laws for whatever translation you're using. And then finally, it'll list out all your topics. So let's see how this page was constructed. So I'm going to go up here to Edit Sermon. And so here I just use the YouTube embed block in WordPress. We actually recommend that you make all of your posts using the block editor instead of using Divi. It's just better for posts. But then, of course, with all your pages, you want to use Divi because it's better at design. And so put whatever your media is going to be for the sermon. It could be the transcript. It could be the audio, or it could be the video, or it could be some combination of the three. And then you want to write a description. After that is all the custom fields, starting with a really detailed instructions of how you compose these posts, especially since we're repurposing a lot of other WordPress elements. We want you to understand what's going on here. Then there's a place you can put the sermon transcript or sermon notes. There's a place you can upload the bulletin. Here's the box where you put in the passages. It's just a text box with a WYSIWYG editor. And then the rest of the stuff is kind of set over here. So you want to set the author as the speaker. You want to set the published date as the date that the sermon actually happened. You want to set the post format to the most prominent type of media that's in here. If you don't set this post format, you won't get those nice automatic play buttons on the front end. The featured image is set down here. And then the category, like I said again, should match whatever the sermon series is. So we repurposed all of those elements to show different parts of the sermon series without having to hand code them. So that's how you make your sermon posts. There's one more thing I want to show you is we've made those extra fields and advanced custom fields, and you have the ability to edit them there. And then finally, the layout for the sermons is in the Divi theme builder. And so if you go into the theme builder and you look at all sermons, also the sermon archive pages, so that's the list of sermons, and the author pages, which is the stand-in for speakers, are also here. They each have their own designs. For advanced users only, really. If you don't feel super comfortable working with advanced custom fields or with the customizer, I wouldn't. So here you can see how it's pulling in all that dynamic content. Here it's pulling in the main body of the post, which is where the video is in the description. Here you can see where the media part is designed, the scripture part is designed, and the topics are designed. That concludes our overview of sermons. Thank you for checking out this walkthrough for Chrysalis. the premier church child theme for Divi. Please check out all of our other walkthrough videos or visit faithspring.com for more information.